Here's how you can learn to do vocal harmonies in your music. So using the example of a snippet of Sugar by Maroon 5, the most common advice I've seen for people starting to add harmonies is to use parallel thirds. Parallel motion in music just refers to like keeping the same interval or distance from like where you are and the thing you're harmonizing with. So our melody starts out on A flat and then goes up to B flat. So if you're doing a third below, you're going to do F to G flat, and it sounds like this. You can also do it above, so that'll be, instead of starting on that lower third, you're going to start a third above. And then you can do both of those at the same time, and you'll get these chords that go together. Does sound kind of weird though, and that's why a lot of people say don't use parallel fifths, because they can kind of sound weird. So what we can do to fix this is to take the upper voice and put it below. So still C, D flat, G natural, just putting it in the lower octave below it, and it'll sound a little bit nicer. But if you use parallel motion for the entire harmony of the entire song, then it's going to get a little boring. So you can use two other kinds of motion that occur in music. There's contrary motion, which just means moving the opposite direction, so where one melody goes up, the other goes down, and vice versa, which you can kind of see just from this. So a lower contrary motion harmony is going to sound like this. And then you can do the same thing with an upper voice, which I had to go really high because it was already pretty high up on the stuff. And then the other kind of motion is oblique motion, which just means that one voice just keeps singing the same note while the other voice is moving around. So here's if we hold a lower voice out, it's usually safer to do the root of whatever chord is going on there. So if you're an alto, you've done this a lot, but you can also do it in an upper voice. So sopranos sometimes have this, especially the high sopranos. But that can also get really boring, maybe even faster than parallel motion gets boring. So what you can do is mix all three kinds of motion together to create really cool sounding harmony parts. So here's just a lower one I used where we've got some oblique, some parallel, some contrary. And then an upper harmony that does the same thing. We've got some parallel motion, contrary, oblique, going on. And then you can mix those together to end up with this. And that's how you can use three kinds of motion in music to harmonize your vocal melodies.